very, 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 very short video on the scene changes. By the way, spoilers. I mean, I guess you're looking at it. This is the scene I was talking about. So I'm rewriting this scene. This is the new lines. These are the old lines. And yeah. So, let me show you what I do have for the rewriting of the scene, not what I already had. So, bit unsure about... So, in order to explain the issue I'm having now, I do have to get into spoilers beyond what you're seeing here, beyond this scene. So, spoilers. Okay. So, as you already know, if you've read, done the introduction, is that Claire body swapped with Madeline because she cares about Madeline and she's been wanting to actually make a difference. She could actually make a difference in Madeline's life by doing the body swap. And so Claire does that. And again, Claire actually wants to help people. Like, she actually wants to help. She thinks that she could actually make a difference in Madeline's life. The problem is, Madeline is a horror protagonist, which means Claire can die in Madeline's body. And, if Madeline's body dies, so does Claire, and Madeline will be stuck within Claire's body. Anyways, but Shaquille, the only thing that Shaquille saw was the body swap happen. So he knows that there's definitely more going on, and he is pretty sure it's a horror universe, but he's trying to confirm within this scene. Now, anyways, sorry for the long pause. I can't really edit out my pauses, because this is a straight stream. Sorry, have more pauses. So Shaquille is for the goal in this scene for him is to confirm that it is in fact a horror universe. So he needs a little bits and pieces of Madeline's life to see if it aligns with a drama or something, or it feels like her. Basically, does she have one problem that she needs to overcome? Is this a drama, or does she constantly feel terrified or under stress? If she feels constantly terrified, under stress, that really does sound like she's in horror. So this is where this line is. Anyways, don't worry, Madeline, if you're talking about just Madeline's side, she'll elaborate on this later. She'll elaborate. Anyways, so Shaquille, on one hand, knows that the body swap, Claire putting herself in danger was, Claire's fault, not Madeline's. Madeline was the straw that breaks the camel's back. So he's irritated at Madeline, but he can't say anything, because, on the logic side, he knows it's not her fault, but on the emotion side, he was just like, you are the straw that broke the camel's back. So he's having these two conflicting ideas going on in his head. Now, the first way I did this was very obvious. He would lash out at Madeline, but then say, oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. I just need information. And then lash out again. He would go back and forth between lashing out at her and then trying to reel it back. I figured out that was not a really good approach. So now what I'm doing instead is that I have him express that by going overboard with his kindness towards Madeline. So he's talking to her like a 4-year-old instead of the 16-year-old that she is. And yes, a 16-year-old is still a child, but you don't need to, well, right here, don't need a patronizer. So I guess if I were to try to cold read this is how I would say the lines. Shaquille already knows they're there and opens the door. Shaquille. Hi there, Madeline. I know I might seem big and scary, but I'm a good guy. You can trust me, okay? Madeline gives a questioning look, almost responding, but not. Instead, she just looks to the floor for a moment. Okay. How is your week going? Fine. Not a single thing today scary happened to you? Madeline pauses. No. Not very talkative. Madeline shakes her head. So that's how I kind of say things. Oh, I should probably explain what's going on Madeline's side as well, just in case. Oh, there's that. Let me just boop. Madeline was about to say something. She was about to say straight up, I'm not 4 years old. You can talk to me normally. But she doesn't do that because when her parents would do that, if she tried to say, hey, you can talk to me normally, or just in any way express that she has emotion or thought, her parents would hit her. So instead, she just reducts into herself. But Shaquille doesn't know this. So, yeah. Anyway, so the dilemma right now is that, so Shaquille, yeah, he does have things to learn, you know, he has some character development to go, but overall he is supposed to be on the good guys team. The main reason why I couldn't do the other scene where he's back and forth flashing at Madeline, then reeling it back, is that he actually kind of acted like Madeline's parents for a moment there. And yeah, it's only for this scene, but he did still act like Madeline's parents, and Madeline's parents are abusing her. So the fact that Shaquille and Madeline's parents are having parallels was a massive issue. And I also... I can't show you the scene. Well, just take my word for it. I do have him, again, he does have character development in this department. He does eventually learn how to talk to Madeline normally. With that being said, I don't know. Is this a better way to go? Is he a little bit better if he went for patronizing instead of yelling? I mean, they're both still bad. And yeah, sure, it's bad in a different way, but it's still, like, obviously he is doing something wrong here. It's not subtle. And also, you just got an entire explanation of why the characters are acting the way they do. I explained both why Madeline is giving short-ended responses and why Shaquille is patronizing her. I just gave an explanation for both, but you're just listening to this. You just listened to my explanation on it. Does the actions convey that? Or do at least it feel like they convey that? Or am I just putting in... Basically, I don't know. I don't know if the person who is actually not listening to this commentary cut, but actually looking at the actions that the characters are taking and is able to pick up that Madeline is not speaking because she would get hit for doing so, and Shaquille is doing what he's doing because he's trying really hard not to yell at her even though he feels like he should. So, anyways, very laggy Google Docs. And then also there was a minor issue. I don't know if I can fix it within the rewriting. Ethan is kind of just sitting here doing nothing. He's in the scene. He's just staring at this altercation happening. So here's something risky. After Shaquille cannot get her to speak, like openly, I think maybe that's when he should snap. Now, this will be a bit different because the slightest moment of any disobedience is immediate 1 to 11. Here he does have a bit of build-up because, well, Madeline's not talking. He doesn't know why she's not talking, but she isn't talking. But still, I'm going to be very cautious considering I'm really trying not to get him to have parallels with Madeline's parents. Madeline's parents are evil, and I do not want Shaquille to be portrayed as evil. Alright, so I'll just type this in, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to record, like I just did. I'm going to record what I just, I'm going to read this out, and then I'll come back to it later, see how things are going. And then maybe upload this part to YouTube, so you, again, see that there is progress being made. I do want to show that I am still making progress. Oh, by the way, fun fact, look at the time. Look at that pretty effing time. Anyways. So, up in the top left corner. It's in very small text, but if you could see it, you could see. Alrighty. So, not a single thing scary happened to you? No, not very talkative? Okay, so I am thinking about how I'm going to do that. So please, I'm going to stop to think for a moment on how. I got a feeling about how this scene's going to go out. Now I'm going to see what he would actually say. Oh, go back. Sorry, don't know why it does that sometimes. So... should be here. Why is it in caps? Oh, there we are. So maybe is that subtle? I don't know until I reread this again. I might remove these lines later because, again, I kind of want to make sure that the explanation I just gave is in the script somewhere, because right here, I'm trying to actually show it. But with this, I don't think showing is going to be enough. But hey, again, I'll read this later, see if the lines aren't needed, that there isn't a need for an explanation, like right here, don't need an explanation for those actions. This is gonna be a really awkward way to say it. Hopefully I'll fix it in when I come back to this and be like, okay, is this alright? Is this an okay scene? Does the scene feel good now and doesn't make me cringe at it every single time? I'm probably gonna cringe at this line later. Again, that's why I'm gonna come back and edit it. How does he say? Because again, I can't just. I mean, right now. I think if I say that when she flinches at him lifting his hand up at her, that would actually be enough for him. Because, like, he's already, like, he just look at himself, already see the motion, and it's just like, she read that as me trying, like, coming up and trying to hit her. Now, that's either of two things. Either Madeline is scared of Shaquille, or somebody does that to her, and she sees that person. And Shaquille is sort of, it's hard to explain that. Not literally. Again, I'm trying to make sure that, like, the parallels between Madeline's parents and Shaquille are separate. And yeah, again, I know that he's going to get some character development later, but it just... We're trying to... I mean, I'm not... You know what, let's just have him say it plainly, and then I can figure out a different way. Again, just... That's it. Okay, sorry, there's a thing on my keyboard that locks the screen, and if the screen locks, then the recording stops. So, yeah, not fun. Anyways, let me go back to that screen. Good news, if that happens, then the screen does get shared, so I'll just need to cobble this together later. Let me just... There we are. Okay, now let me just continue. Yes. Oh my god. And I just messed up this name. Come back. Didn't mean to do that either. But so I know what you're talking about. Brr. Let's see what I got sent. Please don't be. Ah, okay. Oh, got a question mark over there. Okay, what was it? Yes. Ooh, this is gonna muddy my experience a bit. So something a little bit about me. My parents did told me not to tell anybody about, them hitting me. But it was after somebody got a mandated reporter involved. Again, it's a long story, but this would be before that happens. Nobody's gotten any mandated reporter involved. that's gonna happen later during Claire's part of the story. This is Madeline's part of the story. She doesn't even know what's happening over what Claire is actually doing with her life. Claire is going to try to get Child Protective Services involved, and well, you'll see what happens with that. But anyways, this is before that. And even if it wasn't before that, I mean, Madeline doesn't know what's going on, and Claire's half the plot. Yeah, they never told me because there wasn't really a need to tell me. I don't know what happened, but, like, I think it had something to do with my taxi drivers. Due to... This is also kind of be hard to explain, but long story short, instead of taking the bus, I took a taxi. And I used to talk to the bus drivers. I think my bus drivers managed to tell me that, hey, them smashing your head against the brick wall over and over again is not normal and is not okay. I think maybe that's what tipped me off. Because by the second semester of when I transferred, so I've only been in the school for the second semester, I knew it was child abuse but couldn't say anything because of me possibly getting sent to foster care. And if you heard anything about foster care, you know I don't want to be sent there. But at the same time, with how there wouldn't really be another option. Like, there are other options. There's, like, family therapy, but I knew they would not work on my parents because my parents... That's assuming that your parents do want to be better and they just don't have the resources. My parents did not want to be better. My mom told me she did not love me to my face. They did not want to be better. So, at least within the government's eyes, yeah, immediately to foster care. But foster care is not good, so... I mean, yeah, eventually I did change my mind, but... Again, that is a different story. I did eventually change my mind. I did eventually go to Child Protective Services, and that was a whole mess. Well, I don't think I need her to be entirely accurate to my experience. She is Madeline and not myself. So let's see if I can get this to work. Even though it's actually before she would know. Oh, by the way, wait, no, it couldn't have been my cab drivers. Because the only reason why I told my cab drivers about what was happening to me is because they weren't mandated reporters. I was okay to tell them, and that's what I did. I told them because they were the only people I could tell without getting in trouble. So in some way I did know before. When did I figure out? Huh. Hopefully it'll be explored later, but, you can have a lot of really bad things happen to you and know that they're unjust, but not really call it for what it is, which was child abuse. Before you see it within the stuff I've actually already shown, she knew she was a bad person, but couldn't describe why. Well, her parents always told her that she was an awful person, both through their actions through their actions by hitting, another through their actions by assuming that she's always doing something bad when she isn't, and then outright telling her. But here's the thing, all those moments were so dramatic that she would knew that basically what happens is when you don't know, is that you take all of it to heart, and you know you're a bad person, but you never can describe why. Because you can't remember all those times that your parents said awful things to you because they did something within the same time frame so traumatic that your brain protects you by treating it like a dream. And the way you toss out all your dreams unless you have, like, this is the reason why most people don't remember how he says it's, you could feel the memories going away from you when this happens, when your brain's trying to protect you, because it feels like you've woken up from a really good dream and you can feel all those memories of that dream slipping away. Same thing happens with a traumatic moment. It just slips away from you. Anyways, I got on a side tangent. Madeline. I'll say this. How about this? I'll have her say this. Yep. Caps, come on. There we are. Might delete this entire dialogue scene. I might not even have to worry about this, because Shaquille lifting up his arm and her flinching tells Shaquille everything that he needs to know about the universe. A goal achieved right there. This would be only for audience sake. Yeah, I'll delete that monologue there, and then it'll go straight to this line. Can you keep an eye on Madeline so you know that all the next scenes are gonna have Ethan looking after her. Wait, does Ethan know more than Shaquille? I mean, It really depends if he gives more kindness to Claire, or everybody's kind of babied by Shaquille. That's not a bad thing. I'm happy he does that. But, like, does he care about the safety of everyone? Or, he should probably, does Ethan know more? Does Ethan know more than Shaquille? Sorry, I'm trying to logic out his role in the story, because... Well, I will say this. He does know more than Shaquille, surely because he's the one going on missions and Shaquille's the one assigning them. So, Shaquille only knows factual information. Well, Ethan actually gets to experience it, but only as much as Claire knows, which is that, you got all the, dramas. And dramas don't really go into foster care. You can only... Well, unless you're talking about PSAs, but that would be listed under horror if you even consider that like a book or something. I mean, I consider them art, but regardless, Ethan would not know. Which also means he would not know about this. So I'm just gonna... Which sucks, because I think that's a good line for Ethan. Darn. Madeline would know about her universe. That's something for sure. But gosh darn it, now we got the problem of, look, it's just Madeline and Shaquille over and over again. Where is Ethan? What is Ethan doing during this scene? What is Ethan doing during this scene? So he's trilling his phone. I mean, I suppose he could just stand there and listen, but that's gonna be awkward. He's just kind of standing there. I mean, I know that I would probably do the same thing and just stand there and listen to them talk for a second, but... Okay, let me get rid of some redundant lines and I'll just have Madeline say it in a monologue. I mean, it's not like I'm not already doing that right here. Foster care. It's foster care. Foster. Smooth that down. No, I don't want to get rid of this because it really accurate. I mean, this describes what's like actually happening, like factually. This, as like this part implies, describes how it actually feels to be on the edge, like. I could keep both. No, I already had a problem with this possibly coming back later, but I have to look at that scene, and I don't want to give you too much spoilers because that scene comes much later in the play, and like this is still somewhat in the beginning. This is before intermission, so we're a third of the way. Mm-hmm. Well, how about this? There you go. And then after that, we'll go on to the original monologue from the other scene, and then we're good. And then actually, now that we're already changing things, I do want to add one more thing right here. I want to show it, because he's gonna go into Claire's world in the next scene, and like check up on her, not just on Madeline. Nah, I don't need words for this. I can just. He opens a portal. No. He doesn't pause. He opens a portal and books it. There we are. Alright, and then I'll just have that for now. So here is what I have so far. So Shaquille already knows they're there and opens the door. Hi there, Madeline. I know I might seem big and scary, but I'm a good guy. You can trust me, okay? Madeline gives a questioning look, and almost responding, but not. Instead, she looks to the floor. Okay. How's your week going? Fine. Not a single thing besides today scary happened to you? No. Not very talkative. Madeline shakes her head. Shaquille lifts up his hands. Madeline flinches. Shaquille notices this and stares at her in realization. Shaquille, does someone hit you like this? He lifts his hands again. Are you a mandated reporter? What's that? Oh my god. Wait, you. She looks towards Madeline. He shakes his head. Yes, my parents told me not to tell anyone. I know that means they're hiding something. I'm afraid if I get sent to foster care, I would lose my school. And that's the only thing that makes it possible for me to be happy. Are you not happy most of the time? My life feels like I'm rotting away, starting from my chest and slowly reaching everywhere. It digs further as it fills my brain when I'm home. At any moment now, I could be brought to justice for my crimes. Late at night, the pain of the hole reaches my eyes, and I start crying as I know I did this somehow. Just can't figure out why or how I did it. Ethan, can you keep an eye on Madeline? Absolutely. Thank you, both of you. He closes the door. He opens the portal and runs through it, panicked. End of scene. Alright, that's what I got so far. Now I'm going to need proof this later. Hopefully it's fixed now. It's not bad, and I spelled Shaquille's name wrong, but I'm going to go fix... Oh, it's spelled with a C, not an S. There we go. Okay, there we are. There we are. Now I'm gonna go to sleep because I do have stuff tomorrow, and then I'll finish editing this later.